Good morning, all. We're on day number 40, Leviticus chapter 24 and 25. Starts off with Moses told to command the children of Israel to give an olive oil offering, pure olive oil. This oil is used to keep the light burning in the tabernacle. Aaron, the high priest, is responsible for that light remaining. Excuse me. Road trip. All right, so Aaron is responsible. He's the high priest. He's responsible for making sure that the lamp is always lit in the presence of the Lord. Okay, so that is to be done throughout every generation, from generation to generation. The high priest is responsible for making sure that the oil in the tabernacle, that is, you remember the gold lampstand that was created, that is right in the tabernacle, right in front of the curtain in the tabernacle. All right, and it goes on to talk about examples of punishments. This person had a great example of this person being punished is he blasphemed against God. I mean, he disrespected God. Either he said something negative about God, or he said the Lord's name in vain. Anyway, he blasphemed against God, and so God, they went and asked the Lord, what should they do about the situation? And God told them to stone him to death. He was an example. Don't use the Lord's name in vain. Don't blaspheme the Lord. And so, yeah, he was stoned to death. And so in that section there, it talks about other punishments, how to be punished, an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth, back in those days. And if someone kills someone, then that person must die. If someone kills an animal, then that animal needs to be replaced with a live animal, basically. And so, yeah, talk about different types of punishments. And then we talk about the Sabbath year. The Sabbath year, you can pretty much guess what that's all about. Remember the Sabbath day, which is the seventh day that we should keep holy unto the Lord. No work. Rest the entire day on the seventh day. No work, and to keep it holy. The Sabbath year, then you're not supposed to work the lands. You're not supposed to plant, harvest, prune the lands. And that seventh year, so that seventh year, the sixth year, God is going to allow enough to be granted throughout the seventh year. So the seventh year, even though things there may be fruit that grow or grain that grows, wheat that grows, then they can take of that. They just can't replant and harvest and all that other stuff. They'll have enough to eat. So God promises that. And then he talks about the Jubilee. The Jubilee is 7 sets of 7, which is the 49th year. So the 50th year is a year of atonement as well. Now, this is in that section of the book. It actually talks more about that Sabbath year, which was pretty interesting. The Sabbath year, the 7th year, God is going to bless them with so much crop that they have enough to make it through the 6th year, the 7th year, and if I'm not mistaken, they said all the way to the 9th year. They'll still have enough from that 6th year. So, yeah, something to think about, guys. That's the same God we serve right now. It's the same God we serve right now. The monies that we make should be able to sustain us. For years, I would tell people, you don't need a part-time job. I mean, just get the one job and then trust God for the rest. And one thing I do notice is that when people get second job, they usually spend more money too, so they're stuck with those 2 jobs, even worse. But I've learned that if you are paying your tithe, you're paying your offering, you're giving God you're his person, his people's, and he'll sustain you. He'll sustain you. And so you don't need the two jobs. Just like he did the children of Israel. That sixth year brought enough harvest for sixth, seventh, eighth, and even into the ninth year, which is amazing, right? All right, so now it's the year of Jubilee. Year of Jubilee is pretty interesting. Year of Jubilee is that year of freedom. Well, actually, they're supposed to rest that seventh year, but the 50th year, that's four sets of seven sets of seven, 49 years. That is the year of Jubilee. And then the year after that, the 50th year, is the year of atonement. And it actually says that you may go back to your ancestors' house or land. And if you had sold your land, then you can buy back your land. Land is not permanently sold, except if the land or the property is sold within the walled areas. Then you have 1 year to buy back your land. If you don't buy it back, then the purchaser owns it. But if you're in one of the villages, that's God's land, and no one, no, he's like, those are my chosen people, and they get to buy back their land. And the thing is, they don't give it back to them; they buy it back. They have the right to buy it back, and it's based on from year of Jubilee. So the longer it takes to the next Jubilee, the higher your payback would be. The least amount of time to the Jubilee, then the least amount you have to pay back. So God did say, do not take advantage of anyone. You give people what they owe. So that's a great thing as well. Okay. And the other thing is the Levites, they're giving back their property. There is they have their own section, and that is theirs. Ah, oh, they're shaking. Sorry, guys, I am on the road. Well, anyway, that's what Leviticus chapter 24 and 25 was mostly about. We're on day number 40. And guys, I do apologize for the interruptions. If I wasn't loud enough, or if there's some trembling of the camera, I do apologize, because I am on a road trip. So, yeah, that was day number 40. And you guys have a blessed day.